23 years. Just let that sink in. It took 23 years for Sonic fans to finally receive the game they've been waiting for since 1994. Now, this is usually the point in the review where most people start to talk about the downfall of Sonic and his recent history of video games. I'm not about to do that. You came here for a Sonic Mania review, not a review of the whole damn series. So without further ado, here's my review of Sonic Mania. But before we dive straight into this game, I believe it's important for us to take a quick pit stop into how this game came to be, since this game was developed like not any other Sonic game before it. It all started with a ROM hacker named Christian Whitehead, or as some of you in the Sonic community would know him as, the Taxman. Christian Whitehead was known in the Sonic community for his fan game in 2007 called Retro Sonic the Hedgehog. This game was especially popular in the community as it was running on its own engine called the Retro Engine, created by the Taxman himself. Later, Christian Whitehead teamed up with Simon Tomley, or as some of you in the Sonic community would know him as, Stealth. Simon Tomley was well known in the community for proving that the atrocious 2006 port of Sonic 1 for the Game Boy Advance was horribly ported by Sega, and ended up proving that this game could run just fine on the Game Boy Advance, and that Sega was just lazy at the time. In 2009, Sega asked the community what games should be ported to iOS devices. This caught the attention of Christian Whitehead, who then teamed up with Simon Tomley, and together they worked together to provide a proof of concept of Sonic CD running beautifully on an iPhone. You can still see this video of this proof of concept online. Sega, after seeing this demo, pulled a present-day Nintendo and immediately gave it a cease and desist order. Now, after something like this, you would think it would be game over for Christian Whitehead and Simon Tomley. But no. After taking down the demo, Sega hired Christian Whitehead and Simon Tomley to officially publish Sonic CD running on their engine for mobile devices and other game consoles. After the amazing success of that port being released, Sega then got the Taxman and Stealth to make Sonic 1 and 2 for iOS devices. Even to this day, it's a unanimous opinion in the community that these are the best ports of Sonic 1, Sonic CD, and Sonic 2, and I couldn't agree more. Now please, for the love of God, port them to consoles and Steam already! Sorry, had a bit of a moment there. After the amazing success of all three ports, everyone, including myself, was eagerly waiting for the announcement of a new port of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And finally, the day came when... Cancelled? Sega officially canceled the re-release of Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Yeah. It turns out it was canceled due to music copyright issues or something like that. Some people believe it has something to do with Michael Jackson's involvement with Sonic 3's music in 1993, though this is still unconfirmed. But during this time, something more important was in the works using Christian Whitehead's team, and the fanbase were left clueless as to what to expect from Sega, until the night of July 22nd, when... Remake. It's gonna be a remake.
Alright now, yep, 1 second.
Christian Whitehead. It's gonna be a remake!
Stay calm, everybody. Stay calm. We're almost there.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
This could be one of the reveals. Is that what you said? At that moment, every Sonic fan in the world turned into, well, for lack of a better term, maniacs when they saw that Sega was finally going back to Sonic's 2D roots. Not like Sonic 4, not like Sonic Generations, not like Sonic Lost World. No, this was the real deal, and I was excited. So excited, I ended up buying the collector's edition. Now, fast forward 13 months later, how does the game play? Is it truly Sonic's return to form, or is it another sad attempt to rekindle fresh ideas from 25 years prior? Let's find out together. The events of Sonic Mania take place after Sonic 3 and Knuckles. The story kicks off with Sonic and Tails racing back to Angel Island after picking up a unique wave signature emulating from it. Little did they know though, Dr. Eggman detected this signal as well and dispatched his elite robot minions, or hard-boiled heavies, to retrieve it. Sonic and Tails ended up arriving too late.
You're too slow!
As Eggman's goons were already making off with the unique gem called the Phantom Ruby. As this happened, space and time suddenly warped around them, sending Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles back to Green Hill Zone. And yes, Knuckles was also sucked into the time warp as he was just off screen to the right, relaxing as all this was going down. Until... At this point, it's just a matter of going through stages new and old, mostly old, and preventing the Phantom Ruby from getting in the wrong hands. That's it. I absolutely love the simplicity of the story. It's short, simple, and gets straight to the point. Though, there does seem to be one flaw with the story that I just can't seem to wrap my mind around, and I'm not sure if others notice this too, but why is Angel Island in the beginning cutscene in the water again? I mean, this game takes place immediately after Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where in the end, we safely return the Master Emerald, causing the island to rise again. Hell, you can see the Master Emerald safe and sound on the island in Knuckles' story. So, what gives? Maybe I'm just thinking too hard into this. Sonic Mania supports 3 characters, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and the variation of characters depends on the mode you are playing in the game. For example, in save mode, you can be Sonic alone, Tails alone, Knuckles alone, or the classic Sonic and Tails combo from Sonic 2, where a second person can plug in a controller and control Tails in a 1.5 player mode. Not only that, but each character has their own special abilities that we know and love them for, except for Sonic. The reason why this is because he has a new ability called the Drop Dash. To perform this, you press the jump button and then immediately press it again to perform that action. And let me just say this now, I love the Drop Dash. It's a cool move that doesn't slow down the pace of the game, and I actually found parts during my playthrough where I found it very useful, especially in time attack mode. Unlike when Sonic Team and Dimps implements a gimmick, the Drop Dash is never mandatory, and I love it for that. Tails still has his abilities from Sonic 3 and Knuckles where he can fly for a short amount of time before he gets tired. Something I love that Sonic Mania did was allowing you to control Tails in the 1.5 player mode with Sonic and Tails that I mentioned previously, and you don't need 2 controllers for it. That's right, if you stand still and press the jump button while holding up, Tails will begin to fly, allowing you to jump into his arms and go wherever your heart desires. Until he gets tired.
My god, look at that face.
Like Tails, Knuckles also has his abilities from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where he can glide, climb walls, and go through pathways that Sonic and Tails can otherwise never reach. Something I adore Sonic Mania for is its level design. The levels have so many branching pathways in each and every act. Look at Chemical Plant here. You have the option to choose which path you desire to go. And on top of that, each character has their own abilities, giving a different twist to the level, creating a crazy amount of replayability, something the classics mastered along with this game. While playing Sonic Mania, you can tell that these levels were designed with keeping your momentum as long as possible to keep your speed up. But if you want to slow down and explore, the game more than rewards you for doing so with extra goodies scattered around the level, and again, I love it for that. Just like the Genesis originals, Sonic Mania rewards you for sticking to the top path. For those that don't know, the classic Sonic games were designed where there would be 3 routes, a top path, a middle path, and a bottom path. Just like the classics, sticking to the top path rewards you with extra goodies, but is harder to maneuver around, and it's super easy to fall back onto the middle pathway if you mess up. The middle path is considered the normal way of playing a Sonic game, where you have a mix of speed, but you also have some platforming sections with enemies. And the bottom path is usually slow with no speed and a ton of enemies. For example, while playing through Hydro City Zone, if you are on the bottom path, you will be underwater having to deal with... Oh god, not the dreading music, not the dreading music! Oh my god, grab the bubble, grab the bubble, grab the bubble! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Tails, do not grab the bubble, I will die, I will kill you, Tails! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! But if you're on the top path, you'll be dealing with...
I'm on a boat! I'm on a boat! Everybody look at me, cause I'm sailing on a boat!
In Sonic Mania, the elemental shields make a return from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We have the Fire Shield, the Electric Shield, and the Bubble Shield. But in Sonic Mania, they have also been given minor tweaks. For example, the Fire Shield still lets you do the Fire Dash in the air, but can now burn wooden bridges in the level to reach hidden goodies. And the Electric Shield still lets you do a double jump, but now has magnetic properties that can attract you to electrical forces. And the Bubble Shield, well, is still the Bubble Shield. And while on the topic of level design, I think it would be a good place to bring up the controversial topic of old zones returning in this game. Yes, classic zones do return in this game. Yes, I would have preferred original zones any day, but Sonic Mania did this execution perfectly with the old zones. The way this works is that for any old stage that is returning, Act 1 has similar level designs and features from the original zone, with an HD remastered version of the level theme. But when you get to Act 2, everything changes. The level is completely different, enough to make it feel like it has its own identity. Even the music gets remixed. For example, Chemical Plant Act 2 introduces this chemical that when mixed into the toxins from Act 1, it turns it into goo, creating a new fun twist to the level. Another example of this is during Oil Ocean Act 1. Everything seems to be pretty much the same from Sonic 2, with the exception of everything being on fire, of course. But when you get to Act 2, it then creates this gimmick like that from Sandopolis Zone from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It also introduces submarines. Submarines! And don't even get me started on the soundtrack for this game. My god, T-Lopes, you are truly an amazing musician. I can't get enough of these themes. Just take a listen. Sonic Mania follows the formula from Sonic 3 and Knuckles and gives us a different assortment of bosses every act. The first act hosts a mini-boss, and the second act hosts a regular boss. These bosses can range from pathetically easy to shit on the first playthrough. I will say though, some of Sonic Mania's bosses are truly amazing. For example, the surprise Metal Sonic boss fight at the end of Stardust Speedway with the old 8-bit Silver Sonic from Sonic 2 was such a joy to experience on my first playthrough. And don't even get me started on the surprise one-on-one Mean Bean Machine boss fight at the end of Chemical Plant Act 2. I lost my shit when I saw this return. Just gonna ignore that. Just gonna ignore that. That didn't happen. Okay. Are you fucking kidding me with Mean Bean Machine? Let's go! This was my game back in the day. I'll beat you. This is so awesome. I'm playing Mean Bean Machine. What the hell? Get wrecked! The most difficult boss fights I experienced would most definitely be the Oil Ocean Act 2 boss, and the Supersonic boss fight you enter by collecting all the Chaos Emeralds and reaching the end of the game. Oh yeah, the Chaos Emeralds. Well, let's talk about those. So, yeah, Chaos Emeralds make a return in Sonic Mania, and just like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, they're in the form of giant rings that can be found in hidden parts of every zone in the game. And let me just say this now, I love the special stages. One, because they're just a joy to play and they don't feel unfair in the slightest, and two, they are completely original. If I saw that damn half-pipe structure again, I would have pulled my hair out. So, the way the special stages work is based on getting enough speed and chasing the emerald, kinda like Sonic Heroes. But it's not quite that simple. On the top of the screen, you have a time limit. To extend the time limit, you must collect rings. Next to the time limit is your Mach meter. To extend your Mach meter, you must collect blue spheres. Every time you max your gauge, you move up Mach speed, and Sonic starts running faster, which in turn makes it harder to control in avoiding obstacles. You have a max of 3 Mach speeds. If you max your Mach meter right after reaching Mach 3, you will then be granted with a bonus, which in no save mode gives you a continue. And that's pretty much how the special stages work. In the end, I think they were beautifully made, not too hard and not too easy. And of course, when you collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds, you can then transform into Supersonic. And thank God, the music for Supersonic is not annoying. Thank you, T-Lopes. Thank you. Returning in Sonic Mania are bonus stages, except this time they are not originally made like the special stages. Instead, they are the Blue Sphere special stages from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and there are 32 of them, some old, some new. I'll be honest, I loved seeing Blue Sphere return, I really did, but sadly these are the only bonus stages in the game. I would have loved to see the other bonus stages from Sonic 3 and Knuckles make a return, but sadly, they're not here. Something else that is really strange about these bonus stages are that you get absolutely nothing from it at the current time when you are playing. Hell, you don't even get to keep your rings you collected in the bonus stages. What's up with that? They're bonus stages, for God's sake. Now, do you get absolutely nothing from the bonus stages in general? No. Completing the stages do grant you a medal, silver for completing the stage, or a gold for completing the stage with a perfect. With these medals, you can unlock extras through the main menu, like a sound test, debug mode, Knuckles and Knuckles mode, yes, you heard me right, they literally put a meme in this game, and Blue Sphere, where you can play an unlimited amount of Blue Sphere levels to your heart's desire. You can also unlock the Super Peel Out from Sonic CD and the Insta Shields from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Now, it may have sounded like I hated the bonus stages, but I don't. I do like these unlockables, and playing them in general are a lot of fun. I just wish it would give you rewards for you up front to help with progress through the rest of the level, you know? Now, it's no secret, Sonic Mania was made by the fans, for the fans. Or as they say, by the mania, for the mania. As a result, this game is literally packed with nods to past games and Easter eggs. For example, at the start of Chemical Plant, a random drop of some liquid drops on Sonic's head. He then shakes himself off, and then you can proceed with the rest of the level. But if you notice, this is actually a reference to Sonic Spinball, where at the beginning of the level, Sonic dries himself off. In Studiopolis, there is a sign that says, Genesis does, which is a quote from the old 90s commercials for the Sega Genesis.
Genesis does.
16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
16-bit sports action.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis does.
What Nintendo?
And by far, my favorite Easter egg in Sonic Mania is at the end of Studiopolis Act 2, where after defeating the boss, you hear some random buzzing coming from the TV. This is actually a funny nod to the horrible livestream event that happened for Sonic's 25th anniversary, where during the entire livestream there was this random buzzing that went on for hours.
It's getting worse. Oh my god. Like, I want you guys to hear what I'm hearing right now. I want to let you guys hear what is happening. Oh, it stopped for a second.
I even noticed this Easter egg immediately during my first playthrough.
That was fun. That was fun. Do you hear the buzzing that's happening? That was the buzz that was happening during the Sonic live stream. Do you get the joke? They made a joke about the buzz from the Sonic live stream. That was the exact buzz. I'm not joking.
In fact, this is the livestream event that revealed Sonic Mania in the first place. The date that this livestream took place is even on the TV. Pretty cool, huh? And trust me, I didn't even skim the surface of all the callbacks and Easter eggs in this game. As a whole, Sonic Mania is a fantastic blast to the past. With amazing level design and kick-ass music, it is truly an experience many old school Sonic fans have been wanting for many years. Yeah, this game has some bugs here and there, with some hit detection issues. That's good. If you're a Sonic fan, old or new, play this game. You will enjoy it. If you're a person that just loves a good 2D platformer, I believe this is something worth trying out. If you didn't like the old classic Sonic games, and I'm talking to the one person in the audience by the way, I think a lot of the problems people used to have with those games are resolved here, so give it a shot. Now, I think it's time to talk about the ending of Sonic Mania. After collecting all 7 Chaos Emeralds and defeating the final boss, you are then transported into a supersonic boss fight against Eggman and the Heavy King. This entire boss fight is all 3 of you guys fighting over control of the Phantom Ruby. After delivering the final blow, the Chaos Emeralds and the Phantom Ruby join for a split second, creating some sort of portal Sonic gets sucked into. And that's where it ends, on a cliffhanger. But if you notice Sonic's pose at the very end, it's actually a clue for what's to come next. And I'll see you guys there.